What if I told you that the way you've been seeking prosperity is wrong? Yes, wrong. And not because you're not trying hard enough, or because you don't deserve it, but because maybe you're trying to lure the money with the wrong tools. And worse, maybe I'm unconsciously repelling him. What I am going to reveal here may seem uncomfortable at first, because it goes against what you have been taught about faith, worthiness, and wealth. But I invite you to stay with me until the end, because in the last part of this video, I'm going to reveal to you the most powerful key of all, a principle hidden in plain sight, buried between the lines of the Bible, ignored for centuries, but which can completely change the way you manifest abundance. And when I say change completely, I am not exaggerating. Have you ever wondered why some people, even with little education, with a difficult past, with traumas and limitations, thrive with an almost magical ease? And why do others who study, struggle, dedicate themselves, continue to stagnate? The answer may lie in something invisible, something that cannot be bought, but that activates a magnetic field around us, faith as a frequency. Not blind, passive faith that awaits a miracle from heaven, but faith as spiritual technology, an internal code, an energetic password that unlocks the invisible. There is a point within you that, when activated correctly, transforms your external reality as an inevitable reflection of what you carry inside. This point is where true faith connects with the power of manifestation. And that's what we're going to talk about here. But in a way you've never heard before. Have you ever felt that you believe in something, but at the same time carry silent doubts deep in your soul? This internal conflict is like a short circuit in your frequency. You say you trust, but your energy field says otherwise. And the universe does not hear words. It responds to vibration. That's why you can repeat affirmations, visualize, say prayers, and yet nothing changes. Because what creates is not what you say, it's what you vibrate. And here is the point that almost no one says. Faith without coherence is illusion. Faith is not about saying, I believe. Faith is becoming what you want before the external world confirms it. It is to live as if abundance is already here, even when everything around seems to collapse. And that's exactly where the magic begins. The Bible, when read with spiritually awake eyes, reveals this, but not in the most famous verses. It's between the lines. It is in the most symbolic stories, in the most human moments of the narratives, that secrets are hidden. And there is a hidden principle that few see. Money is not the goal. It is the consequence of the expansion of consciousness. When you expand your level of being, material reality inevitably reconfigures itself to keep up. But no one taught you to expand consciousness. They only taught you to seek and search, search, search. It creates the vibration of lack, because those who seek it start from the premise that they don't have it yet, and this vibration drives away. Now tell me, how many times have you searched with desperation, with anxiety, with fear of not being able to? These emotions sabotage the manifestation, and this is where faith comes in like a magnet, because true faith is tranquil. She doesn't scream, she doesn't beg, she does not negotiate with God, she just knows. And by knowing, it attracts. You need to access this state. And yes, there are ways to train this frequency within you. That's what I deeply address in the exclusive content I made available in the first pinned comment. There you will find tools and practices that go beyond what the video can show. If you feel like you need it, the link is there. But don't go yet. First, listen to what comes next. You have been conditioned to associate money with guilt, with sin, with pride, with oppression. Since he was a child, hearing that money is the root of all evil may have ingrained in his unconscious. But that's not the truth of the gospel. The true text says, the love of money is the root of all evil. And there's a huge difference between loving money and allowing it to come to you to serve a greater purpose. Money is not a villain. He is energy. He is a symbol. It is an extension of what you believe you are worthy of receiving. True faith, when cleansed of these distortions, becomes a natural magnet for all that is abundant, not out of greed, but out of alignment. And that's what few people understand. That faith does not ask, it incorporates. That money is not pursued, it is attracted. And that the secret to this attraction begins in the most unlikely place, in the silence of the mind and the certainty of the heart. Are you prepared to find out what this hidden principle is that activates this magnetic faith? Because it's closer than you might think, and most people ignore it because it seems too simple. But it is precisely in simplicity that the deepest mysteries are hidden. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to apply this in your life in a practical, concrete, and transformative way. Stay with me until the end. The next few words can change the frequency you are emitting at this very moment. And when its frequency changes, the universe has no choice. It responds. Let's continue. Have you ever noticed how, at certain times in life, something changes without anything apparently having changed on the outside, as if an invisible turn had happened inside you? And suddenly, the doors start to open? It's no coincidence. It's energy. It is faith in action. It is reality bending to its internal state. But the most important question is, how do you achieve this state of magnetic faith even when everything around you seems to fall apart? This is where many people get stuck, because they expect to feel safe to believe. They wait for evidence to trust. They wait for the money to come and only then relax. But the most challenging and also most liberating truth is that it is precisely by trusting before you see that you allow the miracle to manifest. The faith that attracts wealth is not the one that pleads. It is the one that silently states, I already have it. I already am. I already vibrate that. Even if the physical eyes still don't see, because the physical world is only the delayed echo of the inner world. There is a kind of spiritual pact that happens when you decide to live as if you were already prosperous, as if you already had everything you want. This pact changes your frequency, and when you change your frequency, you change what you attract. And make no mistake, this is not self-deception, it is not illusion, it's alignment, it is the secret language of the universe. It is the same language that Jesus used when he said, whatever you ask, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Note the tense, ye have received, past, as if it were already. Real faith does not look at what is lacking. She looks at what already is. Now, I want you to take a deep breath and imagine, just for a moment, what your life would be like if you were already completely aligned with the frequency of abundance. What would your day be like? Your choices? Your stance? How would you feel when you wake up knowing that everything you desire is coming your way, not by chance but by magnetism? That feeling is the password. That internal state is the code. And if you want to delve even deeper into this process, with practical guidance and deep revelations, be sure to access the special content that is in the first pinned comment. There, you will understand how to use your mind, your energy, and your faith in a much more powerful and aligned way. But again, stay here with me until the end, because we haven't gotten to the most revealing part yet. Now, let me tell you something that almost no one has the courage to say. You were not made to live limited. That discomfort that you feel, that restlessness inside you when you think about the life you have today, it is a clue, a sign, a silent cry from your soul telling you that you were born for more. And believe me, it is not arrogance to wish for a prosperous life. It's responsibility, because the more you prosper, the more you become a channel of transformation for the world around you. The more you inspire, the more you help, the more you multiply. And this is what the Creator desires. He does not want poor and resigned servants. He wants conscious, awake, and abundant children. But there is a price to this. And the price is not suffering. The price is awareness. It's the courage to look inside and break all the beliefs that keep you stuck. Beliefs such as, I'm not good enough. Money is hard to earn. This is not for me. All these phrases are like invisible walls that you built or inherited, and that now need to be torn down. You need to replace fear with faith, the anxiety for presence, the doubt for the decision. And the most important decision you can make right now is decide to become who you were born to be, an abundant being, magnetic, at peace with money, in harmony with the universe. This is the true hidden principle of the Bible. Faith is not waiting for a miracle. Faith is becoming the miracle. It is to embody the energy of what one desires, until the world has no choice but to respond. So, from now on, I invite you to make a silent pact with yourself, an expansion pact, a pact of truth. A pact with the most prosperous, conscious, and connected version of yourself. And if you're feeling that calling, if something inside of you is pulsating with that message, follow that flow. Allow yourself to go further. Click the link in the first pinned comment. What you will find there will guide you in depth on this path. It will show you step by step how to access this frequency, how to align your faith with your vibration, and how to become that natural magnet for abundance. But first, take one more deep breath, because what comes next, in the next few minutes, is the final reveal, the most powerful of all, the one that, if understood with an open heart, has the power to turn the key to your reality. Get ready, let's go together. We have reached the most powerful part. The revelation that many ignore because it seems too simple, but which is in fact the secret cog that moves the entire process of manifestation. And now that you're here, after all you've ever felt, reflected, and absorbed, you're ready to understand this in depth. What truly turns faith into a magnet for money and for any form of abundance is the state of being. That's right, it's not how much you pray. It's not how much you affirm. It's not how much you want. It's who you become when no one is looking. It's what you really feel when you close your eyes and imagine yourself living the life of your dreams. Do you feel peace? Or are you afraid of losing everything? Do you feel genuine gratitude? Or just anxiety because you want something you don't have yet? Here's the secret. The universe doesn't deliver what you want. He gives away who you are, and being is much more than appearance, attitudes, or words. Being is pure energy. It is the frequency you emit without having to say a single word. That's why so many people keep repeating the same cycles. Because they try to change life from the outside in, when the only true way is from the inside out. And as long as your frequency is vibrating scarcity, insecurity, haste, or fear, the money just doesn't come. Or, when it comes, it escapes. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine becoming a prepared, full, complete container. Imagine that your faith is no longer something fragile that depends on results, but rather a firm rock on which you build everything. Imagine waking up, and even before looking at the balance in the bank, already feeling abundant. Already feel whole. Already feel in peace. This is the state that attracts. This is the inner posture that changes the game. And it does not come from theory. It comes from practice. Therefore, I want you to start observing your thoughts starting today. But watch gently. When you notice a thought of scarcity arising, don't blame yourself. Just say, that's not the frequency I choose the most. And then switch. Exchange it for a thought that uplifts you, that strengthens you, that feeds you. Even if it seems small, even if it seems artificial at first. Over time, this becomes their nature. And when that happens, something changes. opportunities appear. The right people emerge. Money flows because everything is responding to your field. And your field now begins to emit the frequency of true faith. Are you noticing how it all connects? This is where you begin to not only believe, but incarnate. And when faith becomes incarnation, it becomes an invisible gravitational force, a force that pulls into your reality all that is in harmony with your new being. And perhaps, at this moment, you are wondering, but what if I am still not able to feel all this? What if I still have fear, doubts, blockages? The answer is, everything is fine. The process does not require perfection. It requires intention. He demands presence. And it requires constancy. That's why, back in the first pinned comment, I left something done with great care and depth. A guided journey for those who want to learn, in a practical and conscious way, how to change their vibration, expand their consciousness, and use faith as this magnetic force. Don't wait for the right moment. The right time is now. Click there. When you're done here, your transformation begins where your comfort zone ends. And before we go to the end, I want to make you a powerful invitation. Look inside yourself right now. Feel all that you are. Feel your story, their battles, your falls and your victories. You've won so many things, and maybe you didn't even realize it. You've been sustained by an invisible force more times than you can remember. This is already faith at work. This is already a manifestation. Now, all that remains is to use that same energy consciously. The truth is that you have always had this power. The difference is that now you know that. And with this knowledge, with this new awareness, you can make different decisions. You can choose to think differently, act differently, feel differently. And with that, your reality inevitably begins to reflect this new you. It's not magic, but it feels like magic when it happens. Because true faith, when activated, turns you into a magnet, a silent but irresistible magnet for everything that vibrates at the frequency of prosperity. The question now is no longer, does it work? The question is, are you ready to live what you deserve? Because if you are, life is ready to give you. And remember, the most powerful revelation is not in the words you have heard here. It's in what you're going to do with it from now on. So if this content resonated with you, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Your energy here makes all the difference and motivates me to continue bringing content that expands, heals, and liberates. And don't forget, in the first pinned comment, there is something special waiting for you. If you have come this far, it is because something within you is awakening. And it is this awakening that changes everything. Therefore, be faith, be presence, be magnetism. Abundance is already coming, and she's coming for you.